Hello, everyone. I'm Fozzie or Cam, and I'm here with my co-host Will. How are you doing today, Will?
Doing great, Cam. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic. Yeah, we haven't been here in like 3 weeks, but we live lives, so that's what we were doing. We were living our lives to us. We're here now. That's the important thing, and we have kind of a makeup episode for you guys. We talk about some things that we haven't talked about, like the playoffs, the NBA playoffs right now, which both of our teams are in. Um, Although I'm kind of hating Trey Young right now, but we can get into that after. That shot was nasty, though. Um, Mando, which just ended, and I have a few things I'd just like to touch on for that. And we both saw the film Air that came out a few weeks ago, and I enjoyed it, and I want to hear your take on it as well. And then we're going to discuss Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which you guys know will be a long discussion because we often have a lot to say about Marvel movies. Um, So yeah, I'm excited for this episode. Well, let's get started with Mando season 3, because I think I have some unique takes on this season, and you can tell me if you agree or disagree, obviously. And the first thing I wanted to say is it was so unbalanced. You'd get episodes that were serious, locked in, focusing on the main storyline, and they Mando has done that before, but it just felt like it worked better. It worked a lot better in season 1 and 2. It just kind of felt a little odd and uneven, kind of broken in this season. Um, I'm not fully hating on this season though. It definitely wasn't a bad season. But what I'm trying to say here is you had episodes like the second to last one, which was awesome. It was thrilling. It was really cool. And then we had the one before that, directed by Bryce Dallas Howard, with Jack Black and Lizzo. Um, which, as entertaining as it was to see Jack Black in the Star Wars universe, and as cool as it was to see a pop icon like Lizzo in a Star Wars product, which is random but cool, it was just a weird episode. It felt really odd, and that action scene at the end, that fight scene where Bo Katan got the dark saber, was horrendous. It was one of the worst fight scenes I've ever seen in a Star Wars product. Um, but yeah, so it just felt kind of uneven, kind of broken to me. But Will, I really want to know what you have to say. What do you got?
My takes on this season, I overall really enjoyed it. My two least favorite episodes of the entire show, though, did come this season. Episode 3 reminded me too much of Andor and just isn't the type of Star Wars that I enjoy watching. And episode 6, I thought it had a great final scene, but the rest of it I thought was very forgettable. With as nice as it was to see Christopher Lloyd, Lizzo, and Jack
Okay,
Black,
Christopher Lloyd.
that just wasn't like that. That was most of that episode was very forgettable to me. Like I'm not going to be thinking back to it very much. So
Yeah,
I really enjoyed this season. However, it did have my two least favorite episodes of the whole show. Um, I do believe season 4 is going to get back to what I just said. Um, but the reason, and again, I really enjoyed this season overall. But the reason I can't put it over seasons 1 and 2 is because it moved away from what made everybody fall in love with the show in the first place. And
agreed.
look, I really Bo-Katan is a great character.
Agreed.
I really like the story of them taking back Mandalore, but what made you fall in love with the show in the first place was the Mandalorian and Grogu and them going on adventures together. And that got taken away this season so much to the point where Grogu was just so much a side character. It was like he didn't even need to be there. He could have been off training with Luke this season. Like
Yeah.
this season was so not about him. So I love the armor saying in the final episode how Mando needed to train Grogu on how to become a Mandalorian. That kind of set up season 4. So I believe season 4 is going to get back to it the show centering around Mando and Grogu, but as much as I enjoyed this season, except for a couple episodes, I can't put it over seasons 1 and 2 because it moved away from the two characters that made me fall in love with the show in the first place.
Yeah. Um, I feel like maybe we shouldn't have had Mando and Book of Boba Fett. I feel like I feel like we should have waited until this season to find out if Grogu chose to go with Mando or if he chose to go with Luke. I get it. Mando being in Book of Boba Fett definitely helped better the show. Um, but I kind of wish that just wasn't the case because it would make The Mandalorian a better show if he just wasn't in that. And I would really like to focus on the whole Jedi thing. We'd probably get more of Luke, more of Ahsoka. But both characters I really think are cool to see. More Jedi the better. I feel like in Star Wars. But yeah, that stuff would be cool. But it didn't happen. We got like an hour long episode on where Coruscant.
Yeah.
That was just a odd odd episode that like it didn't do much for me. It didn't achieve anything. Like you said, well, it's one of the weakest episodes, in, if not the weakest episode in the series, which is disappointing. But I thought it ended on a very cool shot. Um, we also had a cameo from a character in Rebels. I don't know if you picked that up, Will.
Oh, I did.
Zeb
Yeah.
in episode 5?
5. Yeah.
Yeah,
5.
episode 5. Yeah, that was awesome to see. First time we see Zeb in live action. Thrilling. We have the same voice actor as in Rebels, except he's in CGI now and he looks perfect. He looks really good. Um, so yeah, I'm really happy we're slowly introducing Rebels characters because in the first episode it showed these whales almost in hyperspace, and those play a big part in the finale of Rebels. So it just kind of shows everything's connected, and I really appreciate that, and I can tell that Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, all those people there are really going into detail and trying to do the best they can to really intertwine everything and connect it all. But Will, I meant to ask you, how far are you into Rebels? Have you started it yet?
Uh, about halfway through season 2, and
Nice.
I'm really enjoying it so far. My purpose of watching it is obviously because of how many characters they're bringing into Ahsoka later this year. And by the way, what were your thoughts on the Ahsoka trailer that came out?
Awesome. I am super excited for this show. Really cool to get Sabine, Hera, Chopper in live action, all characters which I enjoy. I mean,
Yeah,
my
same.
a lot big part of my childhood was Star Wars Rebels. I mean, when I was younger, I really used to watch that show a lot, and I still watch that show every so often. Um, and it's now to get to see him in live action is awesome. Sabine actually is one of my favorite characters in Star Wars. She just has a really cool backstory, and like some of her character traits are cool, like the fact that she likes to paint things, and it just makes it a lot more fun. It makes it really interesting to watch, and the fact that she's also a Mandalorian is really cool because I mean we can't deny it. Mandalorians are insanely cool. Um, but yeah, I really like her character, and Hera's obviously an awesome character as well. Um, so yeah, happy to see that, and yeah, hopefully we get some stuff with Kanan. But I won't go too far into that because you'll need to watch the rest of the show.
Right.
Um, Ezra, we did see on a hologram. We didn't get him in the trailer. Happy to see that. And we got a brief look at Thrawn. Oh,
Oh,
I just want to talk about Thrawn. I can't believe this didn't cross my mind before that we started filming, but Thrawn is an awesome character, and when you, I think he comes in season 3 of Rebels. When you get introduced to Thrawn, the show takes a turn. He is a genius, and I'm just so psyched to see how he is in live action, and the fact that Moff Gideon mentioned him as well was really fascinating. Also, Moff Gideon is not dead. My theory here is they're gonna pull a good old Jaws 2 on us and have Moff Gideon all burnt up and look all disfigured, um, and then that'll be kind of scary, I guess. So that's probably what they'll do with that because he is not dead.
My retort to that would be this, though. Didn't they kind of already do this where, like, season one, it looks like he's dead and then he's back at the end? Do you think they'll just repeat that?
Uh, yeah, I think they will because if
Okay.
when he dies, I think it'll be a more dramatic death. His death here, it's it's nothing. It's just they don't. There's no dramatic music when he dies. There's nothing crazy about it. When he dies, it's going to be the focal point of what's going on. That wasn't that. It was just like shove him to the side and he's gone. Like for now, it wasn't really focused on. So I think he's still alive. Um, and the final shot of the show was really cool. Unexpected. Felt like a final season shot, which is odd, but I guess it's not the final season.
Yeah,
Maybe it should
Jon
be.
Favreau has already written the script for season four,
Oh,
so
has
I
he?
hope. Well, yeah, he has, and I hope that we'll get that sometime next year.
I'm sure we will. I've been impressed with Jon Favreau behind the camera just as much as I've been impressed with him in front of the camera. Um, he's really talented, and I haven't watched a whole lot of his films aside from the Marvel and Star Wars projects. Um, but he's solid in both ends of it because I know he's a director and writer in Mando, and producer, and then he's Happy Hogan, and he directed the first two Iron Man films. So he's really out there doing best of both worlds. He's doing both of them. Um, but yeah, moving on from Star Wars and Mando, NBA playoffs. Our teams are both in it. Celtics have one loss. Trey
Let's talk
Young.
about the let's talk about that game last night. Wow. I didn't see that loss coming for the Celtics. I was thinking
Neither did I.
on their home court, they're they're gonna want to close out this series as quickly as they can. I just feel like now, look, hopefully it'll be a wake up call and
That's what I'm
they'll
thinking. That's
go out there
exactly what I was about to say.
in Atlanta and win. But if you're a championship team, you've got to know that you've got to close out games like last night. So
Yeah, for sure.
hopefully it'll be a wake up call, but disappointing loss if you're a Celtics fan.
Yeah, I was upset. But you know, it's a wake up call. We'll be stirred up by it. We're not gonna let that happen again. Who does Trey Young think he is? Hitting threes on our court, please. We're gonna destroy you next game. That's the mindset Jason Tatum and friends need to have.
Yep.
But how do you feel about your Warriors, Will?
Ooh. First of all, let me
Oh,
talk for
and
a
Draymond. I
oh
can't
my
believe I
god.
forgot to mention that.
Listen, I many of Draymond Green's actions are indefensible, but I completely believe Sabonis started this one. Before you talk about Draymond stepping on his chest, let's talk about the fact that Sabonis grabbed him by the ankle, started it all. So my take, if you're gonna suspend Draymond for a game, you need to suspend Sabonis too, because he started that whole incident. That's my take on that. In terms of the actual series, first of all, game four, when Harrison Barnes in the final seconds took what could have been a game winning three that he missed, like the entire Warriors dynasty and like my entire sports childhood just flashed right before my eyes. It was quite the moment. So I was so excited that they won. That was as excited as I've been about a Warriors win in quite some time. I'm very confident about their ability to win at home where they've been so good this season, but the reason I am nervous about the rest of this series is that two of the last three games, if this series goes seven, obviously, two of the last three games will be on the road. And they just have not been able to win on the road this season. Their losses in games one and two weren't by much, but until they can show me that they can win road games, I'm going to be very nervous going into any series where they don't have the home court advantage.
Yeah, yeah. I get what you're saying. I just wanted to say my take on Draymond. Um, yep, Sabonis grabbed his ankle. Could have reacted differently. I feel like I get it. He was probably caught up in the moment. He's playing a playoff game after all. I mean, it makes sense to a point. But it's just not. It's not okay to do that, and I think the suspension was actually deserved. Um, it you can't stomp on players. That's ridiculous. It's like if someone pushes you and then you just knock them out cold. It's an overreaction. It's kind of ridiculous. If I were Draymond, I would just if I was mad like that, I might yell at him. I might intentionally bump into him on the next play. Something else. That was ridiculous and unprofessional. That should never have happened. I feel like that's just not what you want to see. If you're a Warriors fan, obviously. But Jordan Poole's in the starting lineup. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I think it's great. I mean, I've got to give Draymond credit because before Game 4, he actually went to he actually talked to Steph Curry and Steve Kerr and proposed him coming off the bench for Game 4 because he saw how well their starting lineup played in Game 3 without him. So if Draymond continues to come off the bench, I will have no problem with it whatsoever because it gives the second unit a chance to play with him in All Star. And also, I have no idea why this is. Probably because of how well you can play when you're on the court with Steph Curry. But Jordan Poole, for some, just plays better when he's a starter than when he comes off the bench. And if we're gonna get a more successful and better Jordan Poole starting while Draymond's on the bench, then I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I totally. Yeah, if I was a Warriors fan, I'd be fine with that too. That just makes sense. Um, but yeah, I'm just really happy our teams are both in the playoffs again. It's so much fun when this happens because
It's so awesome, and I'm so happy for Northern California as well to finally get this Warriors Kings series. It's
yeah,
just so awesome to have a matchup of two teams right up the highway from each other. So
yeah.
it's just great. And final thing on the NBA playoffs, Kawhi Leonard, how dedicated are you to winning? I mean, like, do you want to sit out games and have a longer career, or do you want to dedicate yourself more to winning a title? I mean, this guy cannot stay on the court. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah,
kind of sad,
it is because
honestly, at this point.
he's nasty when he's nasty. You know,
Oh yeah.
he's incredible when he's in the game.
If you
um,
want to know how great this guy can be at his best, all you have to do is watch the 2018-2019
oh,
Raptors when he won the title. That, even
beautiful.
though I was very disappointed in the Clippers' loss in the bubble where the Nuggets came back from down 3-1 against them, still Kawhi Leonard, when he is at his best, has shown that he can do things like what he did winning a title with the Raptors in 2019. He is capable of being one of, if not the best player in the league, but he cannot stay on the court.
I don't consider the bubble season a real season.
Do you not? Okay,
Nope.
I'm willing to hear that. Yeah.
It's just how can you do that? I mean, taking these players away from their families for that long is ridiculous. Plus, you had players who just didn't want to do it, rightfully so. I would never in a million years do that. Um, so I just feel like it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, I guess the Lakers won. That's cool, but it doesn't feel genuine. It doesn't feel like a earned victory. But that's that's a topic for a different day. Um, Now staying on the basketball theme, sort of. But we're going to like the movie basketball area in the film Air, directed by Ben Affleck, who is mostly known for his solid acting in movies. He plays Batman. Yeah, he's been in several other films as well. Yeah, it. I enjoyed Air a lot. It was hilarious. It was well crafted, and even though you knew what the outcome is, the tension, the build up was incredible. Um, so yeah, really, really solid movie. Plus a Springsteen song at the end, which I know both of us appreciated. Solid movie. I forget what I gave it out of 10. But I believe I gave it a 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd. So actually, this should be a reminder for you guys. If you want to see if you want to look at like all the films that I see and review, you can check out my Letterboxd. I'll link it in the description of this video. Um, but yeah, because I don't always post shorts on the channel when I see a movie. I often will just go to my Letterboxd and either write a review or just put out of 5 stars. Just letting you guys know. I'll link it in the description. But I believe I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Very solid movie. Will, how did you feel about Air?
Yeah, I thought it was a fantastic, just super well done, fun movie. Matt Damon is such a great actor. I've gotten a chance to see him in a good amount of movies now. I've seen him in Good Will Hunting, The Bourne Identity, The Martian. I saw him in this in a western called True Grit, which was a remake of the original, which was a John Wayne film, and obviously now this. And I've also seen movies that he's made cameos in, such as the two most recent Thor films.
Oh yes.
I'm so impressed with him as an actor, not to mention his incredible acting job and his feud with the great Jimmy Kimmel. I just can't say enough about this guy as an actor. Truly one of the best actors out there. A fantastic performance in this film. Viola Davis was fantastic.
Totally.
Ben Affleck was, I thought, flat out hilarious. Just such a
Rocking
great
those sunglasses.
performance by him. Yeah, this was such a just a well acted, fun movie, and yeah, I'll go 8.5 out of 10. Just such a fun time. Such a great film to see. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, I agree with you. Viola Davis was awesome. She was perfect for the role. I really like her. She's great in the Suicide Squad film as well. I think Chris Tucker might have been the standout for me. He was
He was fantastic.
hilarious in every scene I saw him in. He was super entertaining. So yeah, really impressed by his performance. I haven't seen him in anything before. I might have seen him here or there, but I haven't watched the Rush Hour movies, which I know is his big franchise. I've never seen any of those. I might have to check it out now because he's a really likable guy, and he was fantastic in this movie. Yeah. So yeah, if I had to go out of 10, maybe 7.8 out of 10. That would be my rating for this film. Had flaws here or there, but nothing major. Just minor flaws that I just found myself not enjoying. It's hard to go into detail here. Um, but yeah, I think both of us really enjoyed Air, and I am really excited to see what Ben Affleck directs next. And I really want to watch some other movies he's directed. Now, before it comes out, I just want to do a quick talk on Guardians 3. I think we might do another in-depth one before it comes out, but who knows with our schedule. We're humans after all. We live lives, like I mentioned. So I just wanted to have a chance to talk about it before we saw it. Well, this is Marvel's big shot. It's a big chance right now. because we know people haven't been happy with them, and I haven't been completely happy with them either. This is their chance to make a comeback, make a big comeback in a big way. Um, they've been handed all the cards. They have it all. They have James Gunn directing, who's a master Marvel director at this point. We have these characters we all love, and it's the final movie in a franchise. They have it all right now. They just need to deliver. And if they deliver, I will be thrilled. I will be thrilled. I will be so happy if it ends up being a really good movie. Um, yeah, I'm just psyched to see what happens. I, th- I think we'll talk about this later, but I think we're gonna lose Drax. I think Drax is a no go on making it out of this movie. Um, just because Dave Bautista said he doesn't want to play the character after this anymore. So there's no way he lives. Which is sad, but it's true. Also, we in a TV spot, we were treated to a new Groot look. Did you happen to see that?
I think
Will?
so, yeah. I think I did, yeah.
It kind of hurt to look at. Um, I think it was supposed to be King Groot. I think, and it just is so unpleasant to look. I'm trying to pull up a picture right now, but it's it hurts. It hurts to look at. I mean, it's a cool design, but it kind of hurts to look at. Um, but yeah, so I'm super hyped for this movie. Well, it just looks like the big break Marvel needed, and Secret Invasion looks good as well. So excited for
Yeah, we
that
could discuss
too.
that trailer after this if you want, because I was
Oh
impressed with that as well. Yeah. But
yeah,
anyway,
why not?
yeah. Guardians 3, I think it has a chance to be an epic Marvel installment and one of Marvel's best films if it delivers on, on the darker theme that has been teased. Not every character making it out of the movie, which has been more than teased, and there have been so many fan theories surrounding uh, certain Guardians characters not making it out of the film. So I just think because this is going to be the darkest of all of the Guardians films. I love any superhero movie that has kind of that darker tone and has characters really go on a
The Batman,
emotional journey. Yeah.
the Batman,
Oh, yeah.
one of the best
Fan-
superhero movies of all
Fantastic.
time.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I
actually, I'll talk
mean,
about that after.
you want to talk about dark, well done, amazingly acted, that one. Right there for you. But I think this has a chance to be an all-time great Marvel installment if the film delivers on everything that's been teased about it.
Yeah, I am totally excited for this film, and now I haven't talked about it yet today, but you just reminded me of it. The Flash movie. So you know how it's been troubled in production. Ezra Miller's a
Okay.
bad guy.
Oh boy.
So we had our first screening at that cinema festival that announced it announced that Craven the Hunter movie that's coming out soon is going to be rated
Oh, okay.
R, which is going to be
Okay.
interesting. Excited to hear that. Um, but the Flash, obviously, troubled production. Had to go through a few directors, I believe. Lost it lost a lot of supporters because Ezra Miller's a horrible person. But now, after first reviews coming in, it's not what we expected at all. People are saying it's one of the best superhero movies ever made.
Wow.
I I I I, I don't I don't know how
Wow.
this happened. I
Talk about a shocking thing to hear. That's the last thing I expected to hear come out of your mouth. Oh my god.
I
I mean,
it's
I I
crazy.
I thought the trailer that came out around the Super Bowl did look cool, but one of the greatest superhero movies ever. Not what I expected. So look, if that's true, well then, awesome.
People are saying it rivals Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight series, which is
Really?
insane. Those are three awesome movies. The Dark Knight is almost a perfect superhero film, and that's crazy to hear. Obviously, we'll have Supergirl in that film, Zod, Michael Keaton's Batman, which gets me really excited. And I saw another review that said they're even more surprised that we just don't know about yet, which is awesome. So happy to hear that.
And I saw that they put out the trailer for Blue Beetle
Yeah.
recently too. Did you get a
Mm,
chance to see that? Yeah,
mm,
I wasn't very impressed either. Looks okay. It's okay.
it's fine. I mean, I'm excited to see Miguel
Yeah,
Diaz in an superhero movie. Eh, doesn't. I mean, I'll see it.
looks okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is. Um, but yeah, now moving on from that Secret Wars trailer, looks awesome. Looks like a serious Winter Soldier esque vibe, kinda. Super happy to see Samuel Jackson back in the MCU as Nick Fury. He's a great character, obviously. Everyone loves him, including me, and I'm sure you like him as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, looks great. Looks perfect. Looks perfect for the whole TV zone for Marvel. It looks like exactly what they needed after Miss Marvel and She-Hulk, which were more light-hearted shows. This looks to take it back down seriously. And the last show that tried to go really serious, aside from actually no, yeah, I guess the last show that was supposed to be like that, almost street level, almost, even though this isn't really a street level show, was Falcon and Winter Soldier, and that show didn't end up being great. So just hoping it's not like that because they seem to have similar vibes from the trailers. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, but well, I was really impressed with that trailer. I think this is the perfect show for Nick Fury to be in. I think it's long overdue for him to get either a movie or a show that he's the lead in, especially considering how big of an actor Samuel L. Jackson is. So I'm just super happy for him and that, and the character that he plays. And you were just talking about this, and I told and I agree. Like if there was a show that Marvel needs to bounce back from what I consider just a bit of a stunningly subpar year in terms of TV shows on the small screen last year, it would be a show like this. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm just praying that it'll be the bounce back Marvel needs after what I just thought was some of the worst content they've ever put out
Yeah.
last year with She-Hulk.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. She-Hulk wasn't a good show. It was just horrible. I sometimes forget about it, and then I get a lot of confidence in Marvel, and I remember, oh, they made She-Hulk. I'm
The
skeptical.
same
So
the same
that
people
show's
that
just
made
horrible.
the same studio that made Endgame
Made
made She-Hulk.
that's just ridiculous. It's such a bad show, and I tried to look for the best in it. Daredevil episode was cool. That's it. That's all the good I have to say. But moving on from Marvel, Star Wars, three big announcements. I'll just run through them quick right now. So we have one movie. The first one that's gonna come out is an Old Republic movie. This has been rumored for a while, and it's something I've been hoping to see for a while because the Old Republic really fascinates me. I just want to see what it was like, and we have some books about the Old Republic, but it's nothing. It's not canon anymore because Disney and stuff. But I'm excited to see what it was like. I want to get attached to new characters. And then we have a Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka movie, I guess, which is going to be Dave Filoni's big project. Super hyped to see that. To close out the Mandalorian chapter and the Book of Boba Fett chapter and the Ahsoka chapter are going to be cool. And finally, oh yeah, we have the Rey movie.
Are you honestly not excited about that?
There's not gonna be Finn. Finn won't be in it. Poe won't be in it.
Did
No
not get
Leia.
revealed?
Finn. John Boyega is not coming back to Star Wars. That's
Okay,
just
all right.
not gonna
Well, yeah.
happen. He has some
Leia's dead
serious
though, so we
beef.
don't necessarily need her. I mean, I
Yeah, I
guess you
know.
can have her as a Force ghost, but we don't need her. Her arc is complete, in my opinion.
Yeah, I know. It's just I feel
I
like Rise of
I
Skywalker.
love Rey though, so I'm psyched to
I
have her back.
I like her as a character. I just feel like it ended. This whole franchise, the whole sequel franchise was disappointing. I just don't want to get disappointed again because I love Star Wars so much, and I don't want to get disappointed again. I just don't want that to happen. But the whole Mandalorian movie thing, that I am extremely excited for. Do you know who's directing the Red One, by the way?
I don't, but I think they might have been one of the directors on Miss Marvel, actually. I think.
Let's see.
Yeah.
I think that might have been the Old Republic one. Was one of the.
Okay, okay, yeah. And by the way, for folks that don't know, this new Rey movie
Oh,
is
yep.
going to
I
take
think you
place
were right.
15 years after Rise of Skywalker and focus on her rebuilding the Jedi Order.
Yeah, it's cool to see. Maybe we'll get some. No, we probably won't get any cameos from any other Jedi. They're probably all dead by now. But yeah, it'll be cool to see Rey again. Maybe we'll get some BB-8. That'll be cool.
Oh yeah.
Um, Perhaps some C-3PO. Maybe some R2-D2. Please, something.
Yeah.
Maybe Chewie. Please, that'd be cool. He's
Oh
still
yeah.
alive. Um, yeah, excited to see how those movies end up being. They don't have a release date yet. Right?
No, not yet. No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. But excited to see what comes from those movies, and yeah, that's all we have to talk about today. But yeah, sorry we missed a few weeks there. We'll try to be more consistent, but like I said, we live lives. So sorry, but kind of not sorry because we have other things to do. But we still love you guys, and thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment. And yeah, I will see you guys next time.